my channel. I'm Rachel and this is Ford Family Funds. I'm here today to share with you my mid-March budget update. I've been tracking on my credit card spending here in my Happy Planner. I keep a list of what I spend every month, and then I go through halfway through the month and record my spending according to my categories. And then the second half of the month, I do the same, and then I total it up at the end. This helps me be accountable to myself, helps me stay on track with my credit card spending. So that way, at the end of the month, I'm able to pay off my bill and not go into debt. I have been credit card debt-free for about a year now. I used to owe thousands and thousands of dollars on my credit card, and I was paying, on credit cards and paying so much to interest. It's been a long journey. I've been budgeting for well over 10 years as I've been paying down my debt, and I started my YouTube channel here a couple months ago. So if you like these kinds of videos, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I've been growing slowly. I've had a hard time the past couple weeks getting some videos up and going because I was sick, and then getting back to working full-time as a high school teacher, taking care of my son, who's 3, and my family, managing the household, doing all the things that I do. But even still, this desire to share on YouTube is there, and I'm following through with it. So let's get started in looking at the numbers. How did I do so far for March? And I can tell you my numbers are up. If you go back to my January and February budgets, I've been doing really well with keeping my spending low and, staying on track and really being able to pull extra money and put it towards the student loan, as well as savings. But for the start of the month of March, I've definitely had some extra expenses. I'm still within budget, but moving to the rest of the month, I'm hoping to keep these numbers as low as possible. All right, so let's see where I stand. So on this side, I have my categories, looking at my list here for a total of $1,000 that I spend monthly on my credit card. And then on this side, I keep a list of my expenses as my CC tracker. I also list my grocery spending. And in the case of the month of March, I've done a lot of grocery shopping. And I also had some extra expenses like at Costco and some gift and Easter expenses that have brought me up for the month. Moving forward to next year, knowing I've already spent about $200 on Easter gifts and extra, Easter and spring holidays. I bought a wreath for our home, things like that. It just adds up that I need to plan better for that and have a sinking fund for next year for this time of year. All right, so looking back to these numbers, we can see that I had $150 go towards Facet Wealth. So that's a financial company that works with me for my investments and helps me be on track with my debt payoff. I've been working with them for a year, and in that time, I have made significant progress on paying off my debt and paying down my debt and moving forward to purchasing a house and saving for retirement. That is the next step in my financial journey and what I'm doing, with them. So I definitely find the value, even though every month it's $150 and it's budgeted. My husband's okay with it. And I figured I'll give it another year. And after that, we'll see if I still need them and if I want to continue the service. So I already know for the second half of the month that will be $0. and my total will be $150. Okay. Now for my cats, I actually had 2 purchases. So these came out in February, but it didn't go through as far as the charge until after I had paid off my balance. So our first purchase was a regular scheduled purchase of $104.20 for food and some litter. We order through Chewy. Every 6 weeks we get a delivery. And then we also decided to get an extra or a new litter box, a more expensive litter box that is already reducing the smell from the kitties. I love my fur babies, don't love the litter in the cat box. So we were able to purchase a new cat box. I forget the name of it, but it has like a liner, a pad that we throw away every few days, and it's making a big difference. And the cats really like the litter box. So we're actually going to get a second one maybe next month, after we've gotten through this month. So for cats, I shouldn't have anything more for spending, but I'm not going to mark that yet. And then I'm checking off as I am recording. Okay. Now for gas, I've only had 1 purchase, and that was for $33.34. I will need to fill up this weekend. So checking that one off. For grocery and household. So that is my biggest category. $500 a month is what I budget. And currently, adding up these purchases at Target, I had a purchase of $77.61. But then they had charged me incorrectly. So I had returned, or didn't return, I went over to the customer service and they returned some of the money. So that was $73.95, which is just strange because I'm thinking it should have been like $71, which is what I had written down over here, $71.86 because of my Target circle. But then on my credit card, it's $73.95. So I think I actually need to look at that receipt again. Sometimes I find Target, like their pricing and the receipt doesn't equal what I'm expecting. And then I get busy and I often go to Target with my son. And so then I end up leaving and I look at the receipt and then it's like, wait, that was more than it was supposed to be. That's not what that ticket was. So I need to be better about like really looking at this before I leave. Anyways, so that was this purchase at Target. I had a Market Basket big grocery purchase of $178.63. And then I also had a Walmart purchase of $40 even. That was an awesome purchase because I was able to use my Ibotta app and I saved $23.10 just on that one $40 purchase. So that was great. I don't normally shop at Walmart, but I was trying to reach a certain goal with Ibotta and I was able to reach that goal by going to Walmart. Now, Target online, this one is gifts and this one is household. So I should separate that. So $9.68. So I did 2 purchases or online the other day for Easter gifts and then a couple household items. So that is the Target purchase there. For Shaw's, they had a really great deal on corned beef and cabbage and carrots and onions and potatoes. So I went there and got a couple things. So that was $38.34. $73.82. So looking at that purchase from Amazon, let me see, I have my list here. So the bubble bath was household. So $17.98. And then the rest of these are gifts. So I went to Home Goods and Dollar Tree. So $358.58 is where I'm at so far in grocery household. So I technically have about $140 left for that budget. I'm really hoping to keep it around $40 with the remainder of things I need to get for the month. But then my gift category is much higher this month because I've already, spent some things for Easter, and I definitely need to get some Easter candy and things like that. So I still need to finish some of my Easter shopping. So for my son, going back to his baby gym, I had budgeted $80. I haven't signed him up for that yet because we were sick, and I just, don't want the extra expense, which is why I've been putting it off. For my hair, I did go and get my hair done. So that is here. So that was for a total of $125. I had budgeted $150. So I won't be getting my hair again for the second half, and I can put then my total $125. All right, so miscellaneous. I don't have any miscellaneous charges for myself or for our family. Out to eat, I have two purchases to Dunkin' Donuts. I haven't been as strict with my eating, and I've gone to Dunkin' Donuts like 4 times in the past couple weeks. I've used some cash. I've used our credit card. I used it again today when I got a couple things. So that is not good. That is definitely the purchases that they add up, and I don't need to be going, but yet I want to go every single day. It's an addiction. So sinking funds, I didn't have any purchases, but yet my gift fund, if I had funded it, would have been there, under the sinking funds. So I think I will do miscellaneous, and I will put in parentheses gifts / holiday and add those up, because I just didn't think ahead about Easter, which was surprising because that's usually a holiday that I'm purchasing more than I would for Valentine's Day. But I remembered having a sinking fund for Valentine's Day. So that's where, budgeting, it can change, and you learn from doing and from tracking, and that's what it's here for. That's what I love it for. So looking at gifts, I've got $21.46 that I purchased from Target. I got my son some Transformer toys. And then the $73.82 is not all of that is going to gifts. So I have here a Superman toy that I got for my son, and some bubbles as well, and a bubble machine, and some tubes that look really fun that he can move around in different ways. So $77.30. So that includes the Amazon. And then I also went to Home Goods, and I'm just putting this whole thing under gifts, even though I bought a wreath for $25. I'm just adding it in, and that's okay. The rest of the gifts were for Easter. I actually got my stepson a birthday present. His birthday's in June, and this really beautiful like shell box with fish decorating it. It just really spoke to me, and he's turning 23 this year, and I just thought it would be nice for him to have a really beautiful box, and he loves fishing. I got him a card already that has fish on it too. So I was just feeling my older stepson today, yesterday when I was shopping. So $96.90 for that. And then I went to Dollar Tree, and I got a couple Easter items for $33. I got a gift card for our daycare provider because it was her birthday like 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't able to get to the stores at that time. And I got a couple garden things that I'm including in the gifts and a couple cards. So just, added up to $33. So a total of $207.20. So I'm just thinking ahead that if I go and get, let's say, $40 of candy, between some bunnies and jelly beans, some of the Cadbury eggs, right? All of that. If that's about $40, I'd be about $250 for my Easter gift budget for this time of year. The leprechauns visited our house too. So that was, some extra expense that I'd love to do more with in the future. And then, a couple birthdays as well. For eBay, I don't have any expenses for that. I guess I didn't need the $sign. Yeah, so those are all my purchases. So as far as like my total so far, I'm looking at $207.20 plus $9.76 plus $125, $358.58, and gas and tolls of $33, and the cats $179, and Facet Wealth $150. So I'm already at $1063.02, right? So I'm already over budget by $63 for the month. Yikes. So as I think ahead to the rest of the month, I am looking at, projecting ahead. The cats shouldn't have anything. Gas and tolls probably around $35. Maybe around $50 for food. So that's $85. I probably won't sign my son up for the gym. And then if I can not spend next week, that would keep my Dunkin' Donuts at $0. And then maybe around $40 for holiday and gifts. So 85 and 40 is 125. So I would land around $1,200 for the month. So about $200 over. So that matches exactly with my holiday. Isn't that interesting? So that just shows that by, planning ahead of the purchases and thinking about your budget and looking back to what you did the year before and putting that money aside in a sinking fund can really help offset the budget and keep that spending down or help cover the spending when it happens. So that's how it is. And, we'll have the money. I'm not too worried about that. We have money in savings. I can pull from it to help pay for this if needed. My husband just got paid. He's going to be able to contribute some for March. We've been waiting on him getting paid some money, and he's still owed quite a lot of money, but he'll be able to contribute for household. So I know we'll have it paid off. It's just now looking at, okay, well, I'm going to have $1,200 here. I know I owe $200 still to my Kohl's card for clothing shopping I had done in February and early March that I'd done online. And I know I need to go to Kohl's because I have $25 in Kohl's cash to go and use by the end of the month. And I want to get my son some t-shirts because that's really what he needs. He has plenty of other clothes, but he will need some new t-shirts. So we're in a good spot when it comes to that. It's just knowing I have to pay off that balance, right? So $200 to Kohl's, $1,200 at the end of the month for credit card spending. And then I still owe $1,000 to my student loan. And that is, hanging over my head. That is money that, that I want to get paid off. So if I go to this page, I guess instead of categories, I'm just going to kind of think about the end of the month goals. Or maybe not goals, but just kind of as I talk out loud, might as well just write it down, right? So $1,200 for CC spending. And then I still owe $200 to Kohl's, and I want to buy t-shirts for my son with the $25 that I have in rewards. So I'm going to say 1,200 cc spending. I still need to get some candy for Easter. And then I have a $1,000 balance for my Navient loan, which at the start of the month, I was at, what was it, $2,300? Let me see, I have it here actually. My ending balance for February was $2,400, and now I'm at $1,000. So I've already paid $1,400 this month. Super exciting. The stimulus money helped with that, as well as my tax refund and just pinching the budget and paying some extra, towards that loan. So $1,000 is my remaining balance. And then I have a sinking fund goal of $400 as my next goal. So this is for our Georgia trip that we'll be doing in July. Every month I've set goals for myself for my sinking funds, some bigger goals instead of putting, a few dollars here and there for each fund. That's a great system too. I just decided to look at it as a bigger, this is what I need for this month and for this event or for this insurance bill, or for this holiday. And then I've been putting money aside as I can, into the account for these goals. So moving to, I think it's May, you can kind of see how I have already marked down here July savings. My goal in May was to save $400 for the Georgia trip and $2,000 for our Virginia trip. We're going to Virginia Beach. So I've already put that $2,000 into a sinking fund. That's what I decided to do with most of the stimulus money. Went right into savings, $2,000 of it for this trip, $600 for my car maintenance fund. So looking at the next goal would be $400 for the Georgia trip. And this is great because after this goal of the 2,000, looking at June, I have some smaller goals. A camping trip in August for $500 and a life insurance of $150. And then I go forward to July, and I have two smaller goals of $150 for gifts. That's for September, my husband's birthday and our anniversary, as well as my second Volkswagen insurance payment for my car. And then into August, actually that's another smaller one too. Gifts is $200. So that's my stepson's birthday and my son's birthday. And then a life insurance payment for my husband. And then it's in September, I have my next big one, which is Christmas. So that's the one that I keep thinking about. It's like as soon as I can get these smaller ones paid off, I say paid off, but put into the savings account, then I can start tackling the Christmas fund. And if I could do that, like let's say starting in June, that would be amazing, to be that much further along in my goals, because I'm already thinking ahead. Well, if I can get the rest of my sinking funds goals, like this Christmas fund, funded in the summer, then come the fall, I can be working on my son's education account and then getting ahead in our bills. So getting a month of rent put in the bank account, getting some of the, the utilities, getting extra money for that into the savings account. So trying to get a month ahead or even 3 months ahead as part of our emergency fund would be just like a great way to end the year, in combination of having these sinking funds and money in place and putting money into our house savings account and getting this pesky student loan paid off. I mean, that is definitely, one of the first goals. So that's kind of where I'm at in my finances so far for mid-March. I wasn't planning to have it be a sinking fund update. I do actually want to do a tracker in a nice visual way to show where I'm at with my sinking funds. But just to, talk about it and share with you what I'm doing as part of my system and where I'm at in my goals. It's just really exciting. So I will share with you at the end of the month how I'm doing with these bigger goals, if I'm able to check them off my list, and how I landed with the rest of my credit card spending. Did I keep at that $1,200 as I'm expecting, or did I go over budget? I don't think I'll be under budget, but over budget, hopefully not. And in my final video too for March, I will come back and update my budget that I have here, my tracker, where I have all the expenses that come out of my checking account. So this is the system I'm doing. I hope this was helpful for you. I know everyone has different systems, and maybe into April I'll start posting weekly, giving you more frequent updates on how I'm doing. But for now, this is what I got. So thanks for joining me. See you next time. Bye.